Market update here in the morning. So I'm drawing some supply and demand here. I think it's pretty easy to see um, the trades play out. And so we came up here into the supply zone right here on the 4-hour time frame. I think the 4-hour is a pretty valid one to look at right now. And we came right back out of it. We're now below it. And so the next demand zone is sitting down here at 393.77. So the question will be, are we going to drop all the way back down here? As you can see, it hit it right here and also hit it right here and bounced both times out of it. So that's a valid demand zone. Are we going to come down here for a third time and hit it? We will see. But if I'm looking at this chart now through Elliott wave, I think it's likely the C wave or the third wave is finished here. This ended up being a shallow C wave, get a fifth wave down. If it's not that, then it's some kind of corrective move. But either way, I'm expecting a pullback here. We'll see if we get all the way back down here to the demand zone. If we get down here to the demand zone, I would say it's more than likely a fifth wave. So it would be something like that. And it could even get past this demand zone too, which would bring in even more downside into play. But it'd probably be a fifth wave if it does that. It's already retraced basically the 0.38 fib right into a supply zone. So we'll see how this goes. Otherwise, it's going to look something like this. I don't see this as an impulsive move, so I think it's more likely we get either a fifth wave down or we get an ABC correction and then another move down. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on SPY. And so we'll see how that plays out. Google, I just have Google up because I'm actually in a trade here. I'm not 100%, I don't really like my entry 100% now looking at the chart, but I think it's fine. I got in right around 90. But on the daily demand, the bottom here is at 86. And then here is at 94.73 is what I see the supply zone. And so for that reason, I think that it wasn't a very good risk reward trade, but you know, we came down so much so far, and I was looking at the 4-hour time frame. But anyway, I think that Google is either in a WXY pattern. It doesn't look like a 5-wave move to me. I guess it could be, but I don't like how far this retraced. I think it's more likely this is a WXY move. And if it is, it could just be a the overall W wave. We could bounce back up here to 95 and then make a new low. Or it's just completely finished. It already completed 5 waves right here. So let's see how far. And the Y wave hit exactly on the 1.23 fib and basically hit this demand zone. So we'll see how that plays out, but I think that this is ready to bounce to at least probably a pretty good bounce. I would say to at least a 50% retracement. Let's see. But again, it's got to get past this supply zone. The next supply zone after that would be sitting here at, I'm just doing daily right now. So we got daily right there. The next one is all the way up at 103. So if we can get past 95.89, I think it could run all the way up to 103. So, but if I was buying, when I'm buying right here, I'm looking to probably sell somewhere in this area because it's probably going to do something like this if it goes higher. It's going to go like that, or it's going to go maybe make new highs, but you see what I mean. We have the supply zone, demand zone, coupled with Elliott wave to try to figure out what's going on. Tesla is moving higher. Demand zone, supply zone, they don't really matter that much. This isn't really in a range. I like this as finishing off a B wave. I would look for further downside, probably looking at something around probably mid 180s to maybe low 180s. And I guess this could be an expanded flat. Except for this is a WXY move, so I don't know if that's going to be valid. I think the 1.23 fib probably be a better place to look, anywhere between 187 to 180 on the next move down. Let's look at, and SPY is selling off here. So we started the day, we're up 1.1%. We're only up 0.3 now. So we're going to see if this ends up being a impulsive or a corrective move. Let's see. I would say right now that looks pretty impulsive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So based on that, I would say there's a very good chance we come back down here to this demand zone. And if it's a very strong fifth wave, it could even break it. Let's go over Apple, and I think I'm going to call it good. I'll go over the dollar here in a second. But Apple, again, 4 hours seems pretty valid on this one. Came down here, came up here to the 4-hour supply zone, 149, and now selling off. The demand zone is down here at 144. And so don't be surprised if the market does sell off to the low 390s. Apple's going to come down here to 142 to 144. The dollar. And I just started using this supply demand a lot more because over the weekend I was going over it because it makes it a lot easier to see where the most likely move is going to go. So dollar on the daily time frame, the dollar is, so it came right into a supply zone right here at 105.37, selling off here. But if it breaks above 105.63, it could potentially go all the way up here to this area right here, 106 to 107. But again, let's zoom in here and just see where we're at in the chart. So we hit basically the 1.61 fib. So don't be surprised if we start a move down or we get, it's kind of the same as last video, we get A, pullback B, and then break through that supply zone higher to, there's one around what's the 1.61 fib here? So 108.11 is the 1.61 fib. That would actually be above this. I would want to see it break above this area right here at 107.77, and then it could start being a lot more bullish in my opinion. There is the next supply zone up here around like 110. So we'll see how that goes. Is it starting a 5-wave move down, or is it only a B wave and we're going to see higher? So that's pretty much it. Let's see how SPY does. Let's see if it comes back up in here to supply, or if it falls all the way back down here to the demand zone. I'll put out another update later, maybe during the market, maybe after. Good luck trading.